Daily Chumash and Rashi for Thursday, the 5th Aliyah. If you have the Chayenu booklet on page 51. If you don't have the Chayenu booklet, highly recommended. Go to Chayenu, CHAYENU.org and get yourself a subscription. Or go to Chabad.org/daily study. Okay. God today is going to inform the Jewish people in order to conquer the land of Israel successfully, they must cross the Jordan River with the intention to drive out the idolatrous nations from the land. Since there are many commandments that are observed only while living in the land of Israel, God is going to also describe the borders of Israel. Nun, Pasuk Nun 50. Hashem then spoke to Moshe in the plains of Moab, by the river Jordan at Yericho, saying, Nun Aleph, Yisrael, speak to the children of Israel, you should say to them, since you are now crossing the Jordan into the land of Canaan. Since you are now crossing over the river Jordan, you shall drive out. Didn't God tell them many times that you have to conquer and drive them out? What's it? Why is it repeating it here? Rather, this is a new angle. Moshe is telling them when you cross the Jordan, there's going to be a miracle of a splitting of the waters of Jordan, you have to have in mind you're going and willing to go the full mile, to go to battle and drive out the nations. If you don't, then the water will come and will wash you away. So we find that Joshua told them his condition while they were still in the Jordan. So let's do Nun Beis. You shall drive out all the inhabitants of the lands from before you. And you shall destroy all their shrines. And all their metal statues you shall destroy. And eradicate all their high places of worship. Nun Beis. Verashtem means Vigirashtem, you shall drive out. Maskiesam means their shrines. Beis Sidgasoin. Why? What's the connection of the word maskiesam and shrines? Because the word maskies comes from misachachin. They would layer the ground with marble stones in order to bow down when, full, hands, outstretched hands and feet. They would have nice cobblestone, marble stone floors. As we know, we as Jews, you may not set out stone flooring in your land to prostrate yourself. That's what the pagans did. They would make, most houses or buildings had dirt on them, but the shrines had stone floors to bow down. So it actually became a prohibition. We're not allowed to make floors and bow down on them. I guess you can have floors, but you can't bow down on them outside the temple. Masei Choisam, they're metal statues. Rashi translates as mas kasein, the metallic statues. You shall destroy. Nun Gimel, V'rash mis'aretz yishaftem ba, you should drive the inhabitants of the land and dwell in it. Ki lechem nasat yis'aretz l'Rosh Hashanah. For I've given you the land to take possession of it. So drive them out so you take possession. Nun Gimel, V'rash mis'aretz, you shall drive out the land. V'rash, you shall rid it of its inhabitants. V'oz yishaftem ba, then the continuation is, then you'll be able to dwell in peace. If not, if you don't drive them out, you won't be able to remain there. So just to summarize, in the bottom of the Chayenu has very nice footnotes from the Be'er Mayim Chaim, who is a super commentary of Rashi. And I just wonder who that is. Um, let's see if it says who Noeo this guy is. Apparently, I have a feeling it's the Maral of Prague. Let's see who that's. No, it is not the. So, all right, we'll figure it out another time. All right, so, yeah, continuing on. So, this should say there's 2 points here. God's telling when you cross the land, you shall have in mind, you have to have intention from the very outset that you're going to conquer the land. And number 2, if in practice you don't drive them out, then you're not going to be able to do your goal of settling the land. The goal is to settle the land fully under Jewish sovereignty. You have to mind that you do that, you're going to have to drive out the nation, the inhabit, the ones living there. And if you don't, he's saying you won't be ever at peace. This reminds me of a story. The gist of it is that when the previous Rebbe came to America, 1940, Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak Schneerson, he was on the boat, and among his entourage was his chief of staff, Rabbi Chaim Mordechai Chadakov, Rabbi Chadakov, who is in many ways the educational engineer of Chabad in America. On the boat, I don't know who, I thought it was the previous Rabbi who told Rabbi Chadakov, maybe it was Rabbi Chadakov, I think that's what happened. Because Rabbi Chadakov would recount this story and said, before they're on the boat, whatever, from Europe to America, before they get off the boat, they have to have a plan of what they want to accomplish. They can't make the plan once they're in America. Because America back then was a melting pot. America was rapid, secularization of Jews. And it was a very, Jewish tradition was in a pretty low state. And they had big plans to recreate American soil, the Judaism of Europe. But he says, we got to make the plan before we get off the boat, because once you're in the place, you're too taken with the problems.
The Frierdiker Rebbe also said, America is nicht anders.
Right,
America is not different than any place else.
That was his goal, that despite the way American Jews acted, which was rapid secularization from the 1880s till 1940 when he came, he said America is no different, and it could be a bastion of Torah and spirituality. That was his goal, but how do you do that? No one thought it was possible. So he told his chief of staff, we got to make a plan before we get off the boat. So it's similar to today, in today's Chumash, the Jews are going to settle the land. To do that, they have to drive out the inhabitants that were there, for whatever many years. And it was not a simple thing. So God's reemphasizing, you have to have that in mind as you're crossing, not like once you're there. Like maybe we'll see how strong they are. You have to have the mind right before you even get into the battle. And then you'll be successful.
Amen.
All right, Nun Gimel. You shall drive it and inhabitants of the land and dwell in it. For to you have given the land, take possession of it. Okay. All right. You'll drive out the land, meaning drive out the inhabitants of the land, and only then you'll. Okay, I said that already. Nun Dalid. You shall have the land settled by lot, according to your families. And how do you settle the land? The tribe that has many, you shall increase its property. And for the tribe that has few, you shall reduce its property. Wherever the lot falls for him, that will be his. You shall have the land settled according to your father's tribes. Rashi, this is an abbreviated verse, he says, wherever it falls for him, means the place that the lot comes, not wherever the dice fall. It means wherever the lottery falls on that portion of land, that will be his. According to your father's tribes, meaning according to the count of those who came out of Egypt. Another explanation is, according to your father's tribes, the 12 territories, which is the same as the number of tribes, 12 tribes. The bottom line is, as we said earlier in Pinchas, it was a mixture of divine providence, lottery, and logic. But if you do not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, it will be that those of them whom you leave over, the sikim beinim, will be pins in your eyes, and hedges of thorns on all sides. And they will harass you in the land where you're living. It will be that those of them whom you leave over will act against you, and they'll be like pins in your eyes. Sikkim are pegs that poke out your eyes. Oy. That's Aramaic for pegs. Blitzninim, the lexicographers explain.
What chapter and verse? What chapter and verse in Numbers?
Now, what we're up to?
Yeah.
We are up to chapter 33, verse 55.
Thank you very much.
We're in the Rashi, though. So lexicographer is about the word litzninim, unusual word. It means a hedge of thorns. The thorns, like they lock you in, they hedge you in, they enclose you, imprison you, that no one can come out and go in. Wow.
Yeah, now that must be true today. The people who are bothering us today in Israel were probably the ones that we did not forcibly remove. Their descendants, I imagine.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I do.
I was going to say the same thing that Alan said. Look how history repeats itself.
It repeats itself. I don't think these people are the heirs of the ancient Emorites.
We don't know.
We do know.
How do we know?
Just
Tell
track.
There's no way we could know.
Track people's lineage, where they come from.
You don't know how God distributes everybody. You have no idea.
Anything's possible, but I'm pretty sure.
You want me to believe what you think is possible and ignore what I think is possible?
It's possible, but I think there's data of, for example, Alan, is it possible that you're really a descendant of a Viking and not a Jew?
Possible? Sure.
Is it likely? Is it likely? It's unlikely.
No, there are many strains in my genetic makeup. And where they're coming from, I don't believe is 100% Jewish.
Okay, fine.
I've thought about that many years,
Okay, fine.
especially this current year.
Do what they call the those DNA tests. See
Yeah,
your
send them some spit, and then they'll tell me who I am.
how much part you are of what. Okay, Mitzareschem, they will harass you. It's the meaning as Uncle translates it as they will harass you. Okay. Nun vav, it will then be that I intended what I intended to do to you, what I intend to do to them, I'll do to you. Nun vav. Okay, new chapter, chapter 34, Pasuk Aleph. We're now going to talk about the boundaries of the land of Israel. So, if you have the Chayenu, I believe it's in the back, they have a map. Trying to see where. Yeah. Actually, it's a map of the journeys.
Yeah, the Chayenu has an excellent set of maps, I noticed, but I don't believe them all.
It's a map of the journeys, not so much.
Yeah, they don't add up in my mind because they don't go to the right places. But that's because it's Chabad is tied to another view of the journey.
Okay. But I have here the borders of the land of Israel and the Kas Chumash. So, okay, anyways. So it's hard, maybe I can find map of Israel boundaries based on Numbers 34. Let's see what comes up. Sure. Thank you. All right, I'll take this as being something. I don't know if it's exact, but let's. Um, yeah. I'm sorry.
That's
Wow. It's obviously very, there's a lot going on. Trying to just see if there's mostly it's like Christian.
The Christians study us more than we study us.
I beg to differ. Who's we?
We includes Chabad and the rest of Judaism.
I study quite a bit of scripture.
Yeah, but Christians have I think the Christians are, in a way, an extension of a really greater Israel, in my opinion. Okay. Nobody would know us without the Christians here in the United States.
Alan, I think you're just talking about evangelicals. Christianity, I mean, even today, they're very, very secular, the Christian people. There's not much religion amongst them.
All right. We are not experts on other religions here. We're just dabblers. All right, I'm just trying to find the map because it'll be very boring without a map. So I hope this is somewhat accurate. All right. Well, hopefully this might be. It's not a great map though. Oh man. All right. Whatever. We're just gonna go. So. Vaydaber Shel Moshe Lemar, Hashem to Moshe saying, "Beis Tavs Neis V'Amar D'Leim, command the children of Israel. Command the children of Israel. Say to them, Kiatem B'Yameler." It's fine. I don't have it on the screen. I'm saying. Tavs Neis, you should command the children of Israel. You say to them, Kiatem B'Yameler It's Canaan. You are now entering the land of Israel. Zeisar Tashati B'Lachem B'Nachala. This is the land that will be divided out for you as heritable property. Eretz Canaan and Gloisah. Land of Canaan according to its borders. This is the land that you will divide out for you. Since many commandments apply in the land and not outside the land, it was necessary to write the limits of its surrounding borders to tell you that within these borders, the relevant commandments apply. That's why it's reiterating the borders, because mitzvahs there's certain special land mitzvahs for Israel. Okay. The southern side. So if you have a kahas chumash or an art scroll,
I'm not home.
you're not home. Okay, there's a map somewhere. It'll fall out for you. I skipped the Rashi. This is the borders as they're going to be, as they will fall out for you. Why is it called fall? Because again, the properties, the territories were divided by. They're divided by lottery. The Medrash says, actually, another thing is that God took the guardian angels, the spiritual, cosmic angel source of the seven nations, took those angels and tied them in fetters, in chains for Moshe.
Whoa.
God said, look, I've taken their lucky star is no longer lucky, is no longer strong. You'll be able to conquer them.
Whoa.
So God was showing Moshe these.
Where is that written? Where is that?
That is Rashi. Rashi.
And Rashi gets it from the Midrash.
The Medrash, yep. Medrash Tanchuma. Okay. Gimel. V'haya lechem pi'as Negev. The southern side will start from the Tzin Desert. I really feel bad. I don't have a map. It's really hard to show you. You know, here I have something here. I'm going to assume he's not lying, and we'll see if it matches up. I'm going to share my screen.
Go ahead.
I have no idea. Let's see. Okay. So numbers in the map I'm showing, you were looking at the red line. So the wilderness of Tzin, the Tzin Desert, starts from there, the southern there, which is bordering the land of Edom, as you see in the bottom of the map there. And what? It will extend for you from the lower eastern edge of the Salt Sea. It will extend from the lower eastern edge of the Salt Sea. So let's see. Salt Sea, we see it over there.
Okay.
So it goes.
It's a beautiful map.
Yeah, so Tzin. So I guess the southeast corner starts at the eastern edge of the Salt Sea and is going to go down, right? We're following it this way, I think. Yeah. Let's see Rashi. The southern side, Peah, will start from, meaning the southern side that extends from east to the west. We're going east to west. Midbar Tzim, the Tzin Desert. This is next to the land of Edom.
It explains why we gave back the Sinai to Egypt so readily,
Why?
because most of the Sinai was not ours according to this map.
Right, but I don't think the goal. Right.
They call it the
Right.
land of Edom here.
Right. I don't think I don't think, Eilat isn't part of biblical Israel either.
But we held on to it.
Right. I'm saying, so I don't know if it's because, I don't think they were.
You're right.
It was only because of that. Anyways, okay. It begins at the southern eastern corner of the land of the 9 tribes. How so? 3 countries lie in the south land of Israel, one next to the other. So what are the 3 southern bordering countries? Egypt, Mitzrayim, Edom, and Moab. So I'm guessing that this is Egypt to the left,
Right.
middle is Edom, and then to the right is Moab. Doesn't say that, but I think so. The land of Egypt is the southwestern corner. As it says, Ma'atzmo, Nachala Mitzrayim, Vayu Teitzes Vayama. From Atzim to the river Mitzrayim, and the border's edge will reach to the sea. The river of Egypt flowed along the entire edge of the land of Egypt. It is a river of Egypt. That's the border.
Is the river of Egypt the Nile?
I don't know. And that will reach to the sea. And the river of Egypt flowed along the entire edge of the land of Egypt, as it states, from the Shichor that flows along the face of Egypt and separates Egypt from Israel. The river Egypt, I don't know what that is. Probably it's a stream that goes to the Nile or something. The land of Edom next is in the center. See here.
Yeah.
And the land of Moab, it doesn't mention here. It's on the right of that. When Israel left Egypt, if God wanted to hurry them up to enter Israel, he would have crossed them over the Nile at the north, and they would have thus come to the land of Egypt. I guess the stream is the river of, whatever. They were just like, bam, Egypt, bam, into Israel. But God did not do so. As it says, God did not lead them to the land of the Plishtim. For the Plishtim were dwelling at the sea at the west of the land of Canaan. The west, I guess, Gaza or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's the police team translates into Palestinians.
Yeah, but Palestinians was a name the Romans gave to add insult to injury.
Well, it's hanging in there. The name
Right?
still
No,
exists.
it's people. Right? I'm saying it's
It's
not
making trouble
actually,
for us for sure.
Right? But it's a name. It's not DNA.
We don't know. We don't know. And we don't know what's in God's mind either.
Those who dwell by the seacoast, the nation of Kirisim, God did not lead them that way, but rather led them around and took them out the southern way. So God could have gone, bam, right in. Here's Egypt, here's Israel. But God took us all the way around.
There was a reason for it that's given in the Torah.
Right. This is what Yechezkel called the desert of nations. This whole large southern adjacent area is called the desert of nations, because there was a number of nations that dwelt alongside it. Okay. They traveled along the south from the west, right? They're in Egypt, west. They go south, going towards east, and they get to the south of Edom, on the bottom. They don't want to go in. They asked the king of Edom, could we enter the land and have a shortcut through your land? But he did not agree. They thus were required to go further on the south of that country, to the south of Moab. And they also sent messengers to the king of Moab, but he did not agree. They then went along the entire south of Moab to its far end and then turned upward, like somewhere here. Yeah. At the end of the eastern side, they're going very, very far up. They go, I think, to the land of Gilad area. They reach the land of Sichon and Og, who are dwelling to the east of the land of Canaan, to the east of the Jordan River, which is here. So somewhere it says here, land of Gilad. I think there's one big city of Sichon and Og. This is what it said. Yiftach, the judge said, Yiftach went to the desert and went around the land of Edom and the land of Moab and came to the eastern side of the land of Moab. They conquered this land. The Jews conquered the land of Sichon and Og, right here, the land of Gilad, which was to the north of the land of Moab. Moab doesn't say, but it's down here. And drew near to the Jordan, which is adjacent to the northwest corner of the land of Moab. So Moab must be pretty big. Something to the effect of like this. So they end up around here. Thus, the land of Canaan on the western side of the Jordan had its southeastern corner next to Edom. The land of Canaan on the western side had its southeastern corner. So basically, the bottom line is that this corner here is what we're talking about. Okay, Daled. V'nosav lachem hagvul b'negev. The border will then turn for you from the south up to Male Akrabim, Male Akrabim v'avritzina, and it will go to Tzin, not the Tzin desert, a place called Tzin.
Where's Sin? We don't have it on this. Oh, yeah, wilderness of Sin.
I don't know if that's the same thing, because we
Why
said that
not?
already.
Okay. Its most southern point will reach Kadesh Barnea, south of Kadesh Barnea. The Yatza, it'll then Kadesh Barnea is all. It's right on your map. Just look. It's right. It's closer to.
Oh yeah. Okay, good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a little different than what I have here in the Kahas Chumash, but roughly.
It's pretty rough.
The Yatza Chatzar Adar, and it will continue northward to Chatzar Adar. Chatzar Adar is not here, but in my map it's and continue to Atzmon. So we're saying we're going from east to west. The way we go is you're going Male Akrabim. This is ascent of Akrabim. This is where it is. See, you're starting here by the southeastern corner of the Salt Sea, and you're going through ascent of Akrabim, and then you go. Okay, the Tzin is probably here somewhere, Tzin Desert. Then you go further to Kadesh Barnea, and then northward to Chatzar Adar and Atzmon. So okay, that's it. Fine. So Rashi says in Dalet, the border then will turn for you from the south up to Male Akrabim. Wherever the word says v'nosav or v'yotza, it means the border was not straight but protrude outward. It was jagged. So right, it's not like going like as quick of a line like here. You're going jagged. Thus, the border goes out and bends in the direction of the north of the world. Whatever. Diagonally towards the west, the border passes through these places. Malek Rabim and is within the border, and continues to tzin. Similar, tzina means to tzin, hey at the end. Its farthermost point will reach the south of Kadesh Barnea, and along the Chatzar Adar, the border spreads and widens towards the north of the world. North of the world really means the south, whatever. But explain that later why. It continues diagonally further to the west and reaches Chatzar Adar, from there to Atzmon, and from there to the river of Egypt. So V'nosav is stated because it says it will then veer to Chatzar Adar. It began to widen after past Kadesh Barnea.
So Gaza is ours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why would we have given them carte blanche a few years ago? I can't understand that. That was nonsense.
They don't learn Chumash every day, so they have weird other, considerations.
Oh, man.
That's stupidity.
I'm saying, the more Jews study Chumash, it'll have a very practical effect.
Absolutely.
Of policy. It will actually change. Like if Jews and even non-Jews would study Torah, of Bible, it would change society.
Absolutely, I know.
So we're starting here with our little group. As Maggie Mead said, it shouldn't surprise you that a small group of dedicated people could change the world. Indeed, that is usually the case.
Who's that?
She was like an anthropologist, like a study of humans.
Jew? That's
From there onwards, the border becomes narrow and turns toward the south of the land, reaches Egypt. From there, it continues westward to the sea, which is the western border of Israel. And thus, the river of Egypt is the southwestern corner of the land.
But we don't see the river of Egypt. I think this goes pretty deep into Egypt.
Here's the river of Egypt. Here, river of Egypt.
Okay, you're right. The river of Egypt.
Hey, the border will then turn south from Atzmon of river of Egypt, and its western edge will reach to the sea. Rashi, the edge will reach the sea, meaning the western extremity boundary will go to the sea because the southern border does not extend further west from there. Okay, so this is our furthermost west dot.
Okay.
Vav, ugvul yam v'haya lechem hayam hagadol gvul. The western border will be the Great Sea. Let's see here, the Mediterranean Sea.
I forgot what the difference between the blue lines and the red lines are.
The red is what we're following. The blue is in Ezekiel. They give a little different.
Okay, Yecheskel.
Ezekiel, I think it's 47.
But Yecheskel would have started with the Torah. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in Yecheskel. You have to look that up.
Okay.
Chapter 47. What's he referring to? I'm not sure. The western border, the Great Sea will act as a border with its territory. This will be the western border for you, Rashi. And the western border, what will it be? It will be the Great Sea as a boundary. Will also be with its territory. This teaches you the islands in the sea are also part of the border. And there are isles which are called isles in Old French. So there's some. This follows the opinion of the Chachamim in Tractate Gittin. The western border was a straight line from the point where the river of Egypt reaches the sea. So there, you make a straight line to the western limit of Hor HaHor, up here. So it actually doesn't go around the beaches, whatever, the bank. It goes straight till you hit here. Wherever Hora Hora was, whatever. There's different opinions. Okay. It seems like it's more like here. Yeah. Okay. Moving along. Zion. This will be the northern border for you. You shall have the border slant up for you to the Double Mountain. This will be the northern border for you for the Great Sea. You shall have the border slant up for you to Har. Gvul Tzafon, the northern border, the northern boundary. From the Great Sea, you shall have the border slant for you to the Har, which is at the northwest corner. And its top slopes into the sea, and some of the breadth of the sea surrounding it within the border of Israel and some outside of it. Apparently, the northern slope is outside Israel, but the southern slope is in Israel. Moving along. Ches. Mahara, only 2 more pages. Mahara har tisar levei Hamas. Mahara har, you shall have it slant towards Hamas way. And the most northern extremity will be Rishut Tzedad. Tiso, I skipped the Rashi. Tiso. It will slant for you to turn from the west to the north to Horahar. Tiso means leaning, as it says, the chamber of the runners, the chambers of the gate. Ta is a whatever, leaning and slanting. Okay. Mahorahar Ches Rashi. Mahorahar from Horahar. Turn and go to the northern boundary eastwards, and you will come to Hamas way, which is Antochia. Antochia. It's another name. Hamas then was another name for Antochia. We have Antochia here. I don't see it. Oh, so you go from Arahor to Antochia. Okay, whatever. So you're going now. We're towing the north border here to here, Tzedad. The ends of the borders. Every place where it says, it means either the boundary completely ends there and continues no further at all, or that from there it spreads and widens, projecting outwards to continue diagonally wide the original width. Relating to the original width dimension is called Totso. So there that dimension ends. Tes, Zifrona, the border will then veer southwards to Zifron, and its most northern point will be Chatzar Einan. This will be the northern border for you. Chatzar Einan. Chatzar Einan was the end of the northern boundary, and thus Chatzar Einan was in the northeastern corner. And from there, you shall have the border curved to the eastern boundary. So Chatzar Einan is northeast. So it actually goes very down. See, this is Chatzar Einan. So it's veering southwards towards Zifron. Here, Zifron. It's pretty much the same as the Kas. and then it goes to Chatzar Einan. That is considered it's not a straight line, it's like a northern horseshoe border. Okay. The border curves to the east boundary. It's like a curved north, curve to the east. Okay, Yud. You shall then have the border curved for you to the eastern border. Mechatzar Einan Shvama. From Chatzar Einan to Shvam. So let's see what it says here. Chatzar Einan is here.
Where?
This dot. Do you see my mouse?
Yeah, I see your mouse.
Chatzar Einan. Then it goes down, the red, follow the red, to Shefam. That's Shfam.
Okay.
Again, Misavisim also means to curve and incline downwards. Shvama is the eastern boundary, and from there to Rivla. So, yeah. Okay. The border will then go down from Shvam to Rivla to the east of the Ayin. And the border will continue down Umacha al Kesev Yam Kineres Kedma and touch the eastern bank of the Kinneret Sea. Continue down and touch the eastern bank. So let's say Shvam, bam, right to the Kinneret.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, down even around the eastern bank. Rashi. The border will go from Shvam to the east of Ayin. Ayin's a place. And the boundary runs to its east. So we don't have all the names of all these towns, but that's what's saying. It's on it's a easternmost city, and the border its border goes after. That's the eastern border. Hein is inside the land of Israel. The border will then go down. The entire section where the border runs from north to south will go down. I guess like vertical, just go down. It will touch the shoulder, meaning the bank. Kesev means the bank of the river, the Kinneret Lake, Sea of Kinneret. Yam Kinneret came the eastern bank of the Kinneret Sea. So the Kinneret Sea is within the border of the west, to the west, and its bank is the east of the Kinneret Sea. There it goes down to the Jordan. The Jordan flows down from the north to the south diagonally. It goes a little bit, it's a tiny little slant. You don't really see such a slant. It's a very little slant. Inclining towards the east, actually. So it's slanting out a little bit. And continues on the eastern side of the land of Israel, facing the Kinneret Sea.
I swam in the Kinneret.
Very nice. The Kinneret whatever. Until it pours into the Dead Sea, which is there. From there, the border completes the four sides, completes the limits to the Salt Sea, which we began the southeastern corner of the Salt Sea as the beginning of our border. So we're fully circumventing. We just went through all four sides. Amazing. The map was really helpful. I hope you liked your map too. Okay, we'll just finish up. Yud Beis. The border will then go down to the Jordan River, and its most southern point will be the Salt Sea. This will be the land for you according to its surrounding borders. Yud Gimel. So we're done with the sharing because we did the map. I hope that you enjoyed the map as much as I did. Let's continue. Yud Gimel. V'yitzah Moshe al bnei Yisrael lemar. Moshe commanded the children of Israel, saying, "This is the lot. This is the land. This is the land you will settle by lot, by lottery. That God has commanded to give to 9.5 tribes. Why? Why 9.5? Because the tribe of Reuven, according to their houses, and the tribe of Gad, and their houses, and the half of the tribe of Menashe, which we mentioned so far, they took their portion already, right, in that land we talked about on the eastern side. Tesvav Shnei Amates v'Chatzi Mateh, 2.5 tribes, and they took their portion, Ever Le'Arden Yerechai Kedma Mizracha, from the across the Jordan River towards the east. Rashi, Kedma Mizracha, to the east, forward to the east of the front of the world, which is to the east. For the eastern direction is called the front, the west is called the back. That's why east and front. Therefore, south, if you're facing east, south is to the right, north is to the left.
Right.
This ends the Chumash for Thursday.